The Communist Manifesto, written in 1848 by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, is a revolutionary political pamphlet that lays out the principles of communism and calls for the overthrow of capitalist societies. It argues that history is shaped by class struggles and that the working class, the proletariat, must rise against the ruling capitalist class, the bourgeoisie, to create a classless socialist society. This book became one of the most influential political documents in history, shaping socialist and communist movements worldwide. Marx and Engels argue that all of human history is a struggle between oppressors and the oppressed. Societies have always been divided into classes where a small ruling elite exploits the labor of the majority. Ancient societies had masters and slaves. Feudalism had lords and serfs. Capitalism created a division between the bourgeoisie, owners of wealth and production, and the proletariat, the working class. This constant struggle drives social and economic change. Economic inequality, corporate power, and workers' rights debates still reflect class tensions. The Manifesto describes how capitalism emerged, destroying feudalism and creating a global economy based on industrial production and wage labor. While capitalism increased technological progress and productivity, it also deepened inequality. The bourgeoisie gained power by using industrialization to dominate economies. Capitalism turned labor into a commodity, making workers dependent on wages to survive. It creates crises such as recessions due to overproduction and market instability. The need for profit leads to exploitation, poor working conditions, and a widening wealth gap. The struggle between corporations and workers, debates over wages, and automation replacing jobs reflect Marx's critiques of capitalism. Globalization continues to expand capitalism's reach, impacting economies worldwide. Marx and Engels argue that the proletariat, the working class, must unite and overthrow the bourgeoisie. Capitalism, by its nature, creates its own downfall by oppressing workers, who will eventually realize their collective power. The proletariat is the only class capable of creating a truly equal society. Workers must unite across national boundaries as capitalism is a global system. The overthrow of capitalism must be a revolution, not gradual reform. Once capitalism collapses, a socialist society will be established, eventually leading to communism. Labor movements, workers' unions, and socialist movements continue to fight for workers' rights, higher wages, and economic justice. Political revolutions and protests often stem from economic inequality, showing Marx's theories still influence modern struggles. The ultimate goal of communism is to eliminate class divisions and create a society where wealth and resources are shared equally. Marx and Engels argue that private property, which enables exploitation, should be abolished, and production should be controlled by the people. The state, or government, is a tool of the ruling class and will disappear when class structures are abolished. Wealth and resources should be shared, eliminating poverty and inequality. Communism is not about laziness or chaos, but about fair distribution of labor and wealth. From each according to his ability, to each according to his needs, is the guiding principle. Ideas from the Communist Manifesto influence socialist policies, such as universal healthcare, free education, and workers' protections. Some governments have attempted communism, like the Soviet Union, China, and Cuba, but their implementations have varied and faced challenges. Marx and Engels criticize capitalism's defenders, who argue that private property and free markets lead to freedom and prosperity. They counter that capitalism only benefits the rich and keeps the working class trapped in poverty. The bourgeoisie use ideology such as religion, media, and education to justify inequality. Capitalism presents itself as natural when it is actually a man-made system of control. Capitalist societies prioritize profit over human well-being. Corporate influence in politics, wealth inequality, and media bias still reflect Marx's critique of capitalist power structures. Many socialist policies aim to reduce capitalism's worst effects, such as extreme poverty and exploitation. Marx and Engels see communists as the most advanced segment of the working class, leading the revolution by educating and organizing workers. Their job is to raise awareness of class struggle and push for systemic change. Communists work to unite workers and overthrow the bourgeoisie. They support all movements that fight oppression, including labor rights, democracy, and social justice. The final goal is a worldwide communist society, free from exploitation and oppression. Many socialist and communist parties still exist worldwide, advocating for wealth redistribution, workers' rights, and government intervention in the economy. Social justice movements often incorporate Marxist ideas about systemic oppression and inequality. Even though it was written in 1848, the Communist Manifesto remains one of the most influential political works ever written. Its critique of capitalism, focus on class struggle, and vision for a more equal society continue to shape political and economic debates today. History is a struggle between classes. The ruling class exploits workers, and change happens through revolution. Capitalism creates wealth, but also inequality. While it drives progress, it also concentrates wealth in the hands of a few. Workers must unite and overthrow the bourgeoisie. Change will not come through reform, but through revolution. Communism aims to create a classless society. The goal is to abolish private property and ensure fair wealth distribution. Capitalist ideology maintains inequality. The rich use politics, media, and institutions to justify their power. While communism has been implemented in different ways throughout history, some successfully, others with major flaws, the Manifesto continues to inspire movements for social and economic justice worldwide. Whether one agrees or disagrees with Marx and Engels, their analysis of class struggle and economic power remains relevant to understanding modern societies.